On Streamlabs? What? Alright, the main reason why most people should care about Onision is because this is not news. He's been accused of sexual predation, I think, about 4 times by now. This isn't new. This is something that has a large history behind it. Welcome back. I just went live. Alright. Onision's main profile has 1.62 million subscribers. He's been married 4 times, I think. And almost all of his exes have accused him of some kind of physical or emotional abuse, including a trans man by the name of Kai, who he has broken up with and reopened the relationship multiple times. Let's go to Chris Hansen's channel so I can put those in the description. For those of you that are watching, I don't know how many are here, Gleechap, Equus, Tate, Wildcard, and Pool Guy. Hey guys, Chris Hansen started a YouTube channel called Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. Love the autoplay, that's great. He started the, Onision investigation a couple weeks ago. It was... Okay, it was about a month ago that he started doing the research. He's talked with Sarah, Shiloh, Regina, and Billy. Each are people that have dated and or been married to Onision for a period of time. And all of them met him when they were minors. Every single person that Onision has been with met him when he was an adult and they were 17 or younger. And no one has been able to concretely prove that he had sex with them while they were minors. But it looks like Chris Hansen has collected enough evidence to possibly prove that he's been sexually abusing minors for over a decade now. We have several instances of him getting engaged to a minor. He was 29 and the minor was 17. We have age gaps as far as almost 10, 15, 20 years. It's been covered multiple times. It's been covered by, the Right Opinion's boyfriend, Jay Aubrey, has covered it. Creepy PM has covered it. It's a lot of people have been talking about this for years, and it's never been able to stick before now. But Chris Hansen was able to reach out to the FBI. Mostly because Onision was known to intimidate and publicly humiliate and abuse the women and men that he dated so that they couldn't. Oh, absolutely. And he specifically picked out... Oh, no, it was legit. His fans are still attacking his exes for him on a very frequent basis. He doesn't even have to tell that. He sometimes will just be like, this person is trying to frame me. He'll, like, he'll lie about his exes in order to build them a negative reputation so that his fans will not believe what they say. And he specifically picks out women and occasionally trans men who are from abusive homes. Trans men, he only dates people who have at one point had a vagina. His current partner, Kai, is a trans man. But he always picks out people that are being abused or have an unhealthy home life. And he'll offer them a place to stay with him and whoever he's dating at the time. He'll pull them into a polycule, like a polyamorous relationship, and then dump the older person in the relationship for the younger person they are grooming. This has happened multiple times. There's screenshots of him talking about, like, arguing with his current partner Kai about who took a 16-year-old's virginity first. Like, legitimately arguing over who committed statutory rape on this girl first. That's... No! No, like... Yeah, no, they were trying to figure out who took the girl's virginity first. And arguing to say, no, I did it first. No, I did it first. That was a legit argument that's been recorded. We also have evidence of him finding out that his first wife smoked marijuana and trying to blackmail her into getting a tattoo on her forehead that says, "I am a liar," and threatening to chain her up in his basement and torture her. This man is a depraved sociopath. Yeah, it's, he's publicly announced that he's reached out to the police and given them the evidence he's collected. My Streamlabs is dicking up, so I'm just gonna fix it real quick. But yeah, he's been very open about the investigation. All of his interviews with Gregory's exes are available on his channel, Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. Link in the description as of now. He has many times escaped it by just denying all the accusations very bluntly. Hello? Oh. OBS says that it's picking up fucking... No one can hear me or everyone else? Huh. Let me fix my audio input. No, it's... I've got like 7. No,
You gotta have the 3
No,
monitors.
I just have fucking... I have really shitty... Okay. Try
2
now.
microphone input, 7 bars, dude. That's the right number.
Okay, it should be picking you guys up now.
All right, talking.
Okay.
Testing.
Hi.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, Strim.
Okay.
No one could hear all the inappropriate things we were saying before. Now that's
Yes.
good. Yeah.
All right, you're good.
All right. So
Strim.
Strim. Sorry about those technical issues, guys. Jesus.
Well, there's a trimming tool. Like, if there's just way too much goddamn dead air, I would either go with the timestamp jump, or I would definitely, you could go into the trimming and cut all that crap out. It'll process and it'll be good by the end of the day.
Yeah, I'll take care of that once the stream is over. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. You kind of have to do it in stream.
I don't know how to do that. And I'm not... I'll take care of it later. It's not important. Bye-bye, Baby Blue. Yes, this is about Onision. So I guess we have to start over.
No,
Jesus.
No, it's fine. You were just doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. I was usually most of that time to eat and grab a drink, so.
Right, and I just kind of was bouncing things off so that we could get some more details of the story, which you were doing you were steering the ship just fine there. The only thing I said was to get you to just clarify some crazy stuff, but this is crazy.
Yeah,
You got away with it for years, apparently.
For over a decade.
This is why open secrets are unhealthy for any community, even if it is just
what is
the fan of a one guy.
Hold it. What is Onision's community?
I guess his
It's mostly teenagers, actually.
Yeah. No. I think you're misunderstanding. So
I asked that earlier, and it was just kind of like, apparently, is it just his fans?
No. Hold it. I'm a brony. You're a furry. What is his community? Is he a commentator?
He doesn't have one. He's not a fandom creator.
Yeah.
He's just a vlogger.
Yeah, okay. It's just his fans. You don't have to like anything, just him.
Okay.
So.
But is he normally do reviews, or is he just?
No, he does vlogs, pranks, shit posts, and memes.
I'm gonna take a peek and try and figure out the average.
Yeah, it's got to be teenagers.
He doesn't really.
That sounds like stuff teenagers would watch. I wouldn't watch any of that stuff, so it's got to be too dumb.
He does whatever gets him views, basically.
Onision on Chris Hansen exclusive. That video of his got 100,000. Everything else is, way the fuck more down. We're divorced now. I'm done with women. I was violated when I was 11.
Oh no.
Yeah. I would probably flash this on screen just so people could get a good vibe for Onision.
So he's about himself being a mess. That's what
emo anthem polyamory. He does music too, and it's all gross.
Oh, musician does dumb gross songs.
My ex-wife confronted me. Proof I'm a sociopath. 10 ways to kill Charmander. 10 ways to kill Mario.
Some gaming stuff. Some vague fake
Your
gaming
short
content. Yeah.
10 ways to kill Pikachu. Egg go boom, blowing up kids' toys for fun. Coming too far out of the closet. Onision banana. 10 things I hate about Democrats.
I don't. Man, this isn't that interesting. None of this is that interesting.
There's a lot of my new divorce in such a short period of time.
Surely he was responding to people talking about him being an abusive partner, and then he was like, I better respond and tell them how hard this divorce has been on me. It was what that appears to be to me.
Yeah, basically. He does a lot of, pity me, my ex is crazy shit.
Here's my side of the story. I have not only... this isn't case of one crazy ex. This is every crazy ex. That becomes less believable.
He also at one point tried to get his fans to pay... He went bankrupt for about a year, and he tried to get his fans to pay for his second house, his second and third cars. He actually made several videos begging... He owns a second house, multiple cars,
Hold on.
A lot of shit.
Hold on. But a bankruptcy?
Well, he filed for bankruptcy. We don't know.
Yes, I understand what he did, but that just means he had a lot of debt that he didn't have to pay back. And then he
Yeah, but he
used
lied
his.
about
Then
it in
he
order
used
to.
his. No, there's a surprisingly enough. Um, you can do a lot of fun things with bankruptcies, and it's totally all 100% legal. What he did after his strategic bankruptcy, it sounds like, is used his fans as his new line of credit to continue his lifestyle.
Yeah, but he
And
lied
that's
about
debt.
why,
That's
and
not.
it wasn't
Well,
revealed
how
until
is?
later.
Wait, but what did he say?
I wonder if I can pull up the specific video.
So, this sounds like there's way more to it than just like that. Cool. I think that makes him kind of smart, or at least smart enough to figure out how to get a lot of money for nothing.
How does he have 500 patrons? That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. God, he got money from people. He figured out how to get money from people.
I'm trying
guess.
to find the specific
I'm going
video
to
I
assume
found
it's people who have the hots
covering
for him,
it.
maybe? That's gotta
Yeah,
be.
is he? Yeah, what's the deal? Is he like? Is he? See, here's the thing. I'm getting an idea of what he does, but
all right.
What is it about his personality that drew anyone into liking him? He
Have you
sounds
seen
awful.
what this guy looks like?
No.
All right, so I will post his channel. You as the raging bisexual.
Yeah, we'll rate number wise. Not like just we'll do it
right.
as
Scale of
far
1 to
as.
10.
All right, let's hold on. Let me get
Just
down
strictly his
here. Just not knowing anything about him, just looking at him. Oh no, I mean, okay, so he's supposed to be cute, though he looks kind of not that cute. To me, I don't know. Let's say no, he's pretty cute. So I guess I can see why that's working in his favor.
It doesn't look 500 patrons worth of cute, I would think. Yeah.
No, well, let me see what focusing on. Okay, yeah, I'm not. Here's the thing, I'm not buying this boy band dropout. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? But I get why. Okay, I get why people would look at him and think he's cute.
All right.
Yeah. Cute enough to get away with this ridiculously simple hustle that he's doing.
Apparently.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the specific video where they covered his deceit on regards to, I need your help paying for my second house, my fucking second and third cars, my swimming pool,
he doesn't need to
this,
tell
my
anyone
that.
about his strategic bankruptcies any more than I need to tell you about mine. So, what? I get that he also hustled his fans out of money is just like this ridiculous, what a shitty person, icing on the cake kind of thing.
Yeah, he's lied about a lot of things to a lot of people. I'm only covering right now the exes that he had while he was a YouTuber, because there are women who he was married to before he was a YouTuber. This man's been through 7 marriages.
And it was always because Daddy had money.
Usually it's either because Daddy had money or because they were being abused and he could manipulate that.
Yeah, or why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Why not both? Daddy can have money and still have an abusive family.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. Oh good, this is my way in. And then after I fix everything and they reconcile with the family because I saved her. What a psycho. What a sick piece of shit.
There's a clip that one of his exes put up that is in The Demented World of Onision by Jay Aubrey featuring The Right Opinion, where...
Did he suck up to other YouTubers and shit? Is that all part of this?
Jacqueline Glenn, her ex, the musician who wears the gothic headdress and dresses like a crackhead from a League of Legends tournament.
Don't know him, but that sounds... Love it, love everything about it, go on.
Nah, he's also a creep. He only ever really sucks up to other creeps.
Yeah, what, I meant that since they're just okay, this sounds like someone who would be friends with this guy. So
My police record. That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
His steampunk Casanova best friend YouTube musician. Sounds awful. Go on.
Basically, I'm gonna link you guys to a clip that I'm going to play out loud, from the J. Aubrey video about this. And it's a clip of one of Onision's exes confronting him because his abuse was going to send them back to their family home, and it was going to destroy their life.
Better and ensure that Onision's name is forever synonymous with abuser.
Just know that when they say on the news that I was found, brutally murdered, that it was because of you.
That's a clip that was taken. When I am found brutally murdered, it's because of you. That's something that one of Onision's exes legit said to him and was put on tape, and he posted it anyway. He posted this to try and humiliate them. Which is what he does. He posts their meltdowns.
Question. I take it this person was receiving threats from his fans. What were they responding to exactly?
Onision was trying to kick them out or get them to leave because they had done cannabis before. And, and this has happened multiple times where he's found out that they've lied about being a virgin or lied about whether or not they've done drugs. He'll kick them out or humiliate them. Or send them back to an abusive household. And I think that was Shiloh, or... Yeah, I think that was Shiloh.
But see, that fits into the whole see your parents were right about you.
Yeah, that's something
manipulation tactic, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Well, you are a whore. Oh, you are a drug addict.
And Onision would post these meltdowns that he would induce in his partners and humiliate them for clout. He once posted one of his exes having a medical, I think it was an epileptic seizure, some kind of seizure.
Oh, what?
Like, he recorded them
he
having...
like, posted someone having a seizure for clickbait.
Yeah. She suffered from amnesia for days, weeks after.
I want to slap this. Like, no, this guy's fuck this guy. He thinks that's funny.
He legit thinks it's funny to humiliate and post medical emergencies.
No, that's this guy's. No, I can't. Fuck him.
That's why I wanted to talk about it. This guy is a known shithead who has abused a lot of people.
All right, so I think we've set the table. Were we gonna do the reaction to Hansen stuff or what?
Yep. Let me queue up a watch together.
How does Hansen not punch fucking assholes like this?
This might be fucking defense.
If this had been a brony, I'd been like, no, let him show up to BabsCon. I got a half hour set aside for him. The trap is set. Like, fuck this.
Guys, Michael Bolton is here.
Oh, great. Send him in.
Hey guys.
Why is there a Brooklyn Nine-Nine clip on my screen
caught
right
up
now?
watching the Pirates of the
Jesus
Caribbean
Christ.
marathon. Have you seen those things?
Oh, yeah. Those are
Those
great.
funny.
Well,
It's the
I listened to
funny
your track
cops.
and I loved it. And I wrote you this big, sexy hook.
It's like a cop show, but they're funny.
Oh, wow, that's great. You want to just lay
Yeah,
it down?
but that's not what I need right
Let's
now.
get to it.
Right. I like.
Stop. Okay.
If only my locality didn't have a corrupt police force. Ah, yes, some escapism. Click. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The opposite of reality.
It is good, though. And I still firmly believe that Jake Peralta is bisexual. No one will convince me otherwise.
Well, I wouldn't. That's rule. What rule number was that? Bisexual till proven otherwise. There's a rule number for that. I see.
Onision, Chris Hansen. Gotta grab that link. Come on, YouTube. Don't fail me now. Why don't we go over the most recent
Today's
one?
video
That's
is
the one-
sponsored by
Okay.
the Onision.
Okay, you can do that, YouTube. You can autoplay when I didn't tell you to.
You know what sucks now? That like it's 2019, so when you type that into Google, you don't just get the internet rule to just pop right up. You get a bunch of like legit articles that are like, is bisexuality proven otherwise? Until I'm like, no, I don't want real articles about whether this is actually true. I wanted to find out the number internet
And
rule
Chris
for
Hansen
bi
here
until
from New
proven
York.
otherwise. But it's the world we're living in.
Alright, here's the watch together room. Everybody pile in.
Okay, let me take.
Never
note.
piled in a watch together before.
All right.
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Let's make it visible on screen. Display capture.
Would you like to take a quick tour? No thanks.
I mean, it's probably gonna work.
Oh, it's playing.
It's playing? Mine's
Yep.
not playing.
Yeah, it should be paused. If it's playing, please make it not play.
All right, I paused it.
Alright.
Anthony just dives in. Boom, let's go. What are we doing? We doing this or what?
Alright, on 3. 1, 2.
Wait, I thought it was watched together. I thought it'll start whenever the host
Oh
starts.
God.
And
So we
Chris
gotta play it
Hansen
all-
here
Let's
from
go.
New York City
Play.
on my YouTube channel and show.
Who's
Have
the
a
pouty
seat with
blonde
Chris
here?
Hansen. As you know, if you've been following us, and many of you have, and I appreciate that, we are intensifying our investigation into the YouTube streamer Onision, otherwise known as Greg Jackson, and his wife Kai, who have allegedly engaged in a series and a pattern of very disturbing grooming and sexual impropriety with young women around the country. The allegations are honestly quite shocking. They have used their YouTube channel to sort of recruit a number of young women into what can only be described as a cult-like environment, sometimes trying to force the girls into signing contracts, shaving their heads, keeping them away from their families, and at least coercing
Could I,
them
pop in real
into questionable sexual relationships.
Did I pause?
Yeah.
We've
Go
had
for
some.
it.
All right, so no, just for two reasons. One, for fair use, so that we could have some commentary in there. For anyone listening who finds themselves in a situation where they're signing a contract like that, for a contract to be legally enforceable, it has to be legal.
Well, don't ever. Yeah, if someone's presenting you legal documents, contact Brady Larson, Brony Lawyer. He's a expert in contract law, and will help anyone with at least one question on the phone.
Yeah, I'll give you this one too. On top of that, for a contract also to be enforceable, it has to have consideration. So if you weren't paid, you probably don't have to hold up your end.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that actually have nullified all the contracts over at BC?
Yeah. It would
There's
have.
a lot of fun stuff going on with the NDAs at this point.
Was any of those people paid?
Most of the that's a funny thing. From what I found out, a lot of people didn't even ever sign them.
So the whole excuse of that was just BS from people wanting to cover up. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Jesus.
Yeah, like a lot of people, turns out like there's no record of them ever having.
Trouble, how the fuck did you get in here? How the fuck did He broke
The
my
cat-
door down!
Yeah.
Cat?
My cat broke my door down
Yeah.
and broke into the bed. No!
Yeah, see, this is why
We need
like
You little
fan
dick.
art of Patchwork Heart's cat just like stealing their microphone and
the
running off.
red light is on in the hall. That means I'm streaming.
You dick! You furry asshole!
You know what
I'm
the
gonna
red
be
light
giving
means?
you dry food for dinner tonight.
Like,
No
I
more
got-
food until tomorrow, you
You're
little
like-
shit!
The cat does not know what the Amazon on-air light in the hallway means. It's just like, well, what's going on in here?
All right, Let's hit play.
Some of
Yes,
the
this
alleged
is-
victims on in the past few weeks, and tonight we continue on this program, which is sponsored by StreamYard, our sponsor, which allows
Hold on.
us-
Pause while he's doing the ad. Like, now I want like a cat to just bust into Chris Hansen's room and him to go like, "Damn it, get out of here, cat!"
Wait, was Onision the one that was accused of having sex with his cat, or was that Shane Dawson?
That was Shane Dawson.
I always get those
Listen
two
to the
mixed up.
drive-in theater.
No,
So
Onision is the pedophile. Shane Dawson is the zoophile. Okay.
Well,
Shane
hold
Dawson.
it. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, he did slam his face into the cat's or dog's crotch, so I don't agree with that being a joke.
Whether the length you have to go to make making out with a dog funny, you got to go a long way before that's funny.
Jesus. All right, let's hit play here.
That takes so much setup to make that funny. Just
And I
doing it
noticed-
is not
Yeah,
funny.
when I look at Onision, I get like Shane Dawson fake YouTube people vibes off of it.
Right.
Yeah, the two of them were friends at one point.
They,
And then they were like, "All right, on the count of 3, say the weird thing you're into. 1, 2, 3, kids, dogs." Oh, they just stopped being friends. They just didn't hang out after that.
to broadcast this show on this venue and many others. If you're interested, go to StreamYard.com and you can learn how to broadcast your work on multiple platforms at the same time. Tonight's guest is a young woman who I spoke with for the first time yesterday, but has been on our radar for a long time. Billy, who knows firsthand what it's like to get wrapped up in this whole world of Onision and Kai, the very disturbing and dark world of Onision and Kai. Billy, thank you so much for joining us live tonight on Have a Seat with Chris Hansen.
Of course.
So take me back in time a little bit, Billy. How did Onision first come onto your awareness? How did you first realize that Onision was even a presence on YouTube?
I had seen one of his like Scene Kid videos pop
Scene
up.
Kid videos.
Yeah, like just rating their like hair or style. Back when like there was like a lot of Scene Kid YouTubers, so it just popped up in my recommended.
So you were surfing YouTube basically, and you just saw this and interested you. How old were you at the time, Billy?
I was 15.
15. And what were these videos, these Scene Kid videos? What was Onision doing on these videos that was so of interest to
Having
you?
great hair.
Well, I was really interested in like the whole big
Hair! I knew it!
piercings
Oh my god!
type Scene Kid
Wow,
stuff
I love
back then. It
that.
was like a really big trend. So he would just kind of like show
He had
photos
fantastic
of other
hair.
Scene Kids, kind of like rating their
Oh.
hair or their style and just kind of all that. So it was
Oh my
That
god.
was something that Onision did regularly.
Look,
is
I
he reviewed
okay.
women's appearance.
I'm-
Usually
here's the
prepubescent
thing about that.
girls.
Yeah, here's the thing about the him having great hair thing. I've like now that I like if it was just all right, if we were rating him on not on his face. Now, but this goes back to what Anthony asked me earlier, like rate Onision, how does he look? If I was rating him on his face and the whole package, like no, like 6, 7 maybe. If I were rating this guy on just his hair, which apparently where all his self-esteem is emanating from, and I wouldn't know anything about that. If I were rating this guy on just his hair, it's like a 10. Like, shit, she's not like when she says no, it was his hair, it's hypnotizing. And she's not like, I could see if that was all you were judging this guy on, you could get sucked in. This is a fucking nightmare.
Hold it. I'm not saying I wouldn't scalp Onision.
Mm. Oh, yeah. What are they going to do with that part? I'd pay money for that.
Yeah.
I'm buying. You know what? No, like my dad, I'd be like, I got you a Christmas present, and they're going to graft this on. He's bald, but he won't be. He'll have Onision's hair.
Oh, message from Leo here. Is it just me, or does Chris Hansen sound like a slightly more baritone brony inspector? He kinda does.
All right.
Well, I could try to drop down a little if you want, Leo.
You dweeb.
I don't know.
All right, let's
kind of one of those things to just like get inspiration for whatever like look, I guess.
Did you consider Onision, Greg Jackson, to be somewhat of a celebrity on YouTube?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it was a big deal.
Like, yeah.
And what else did Onision do on YouTube that got your attention?
I had seen like some like body hair videos, some like kind of eating disorder videos.
Oh, what?
And just out of interest, like.
Oh yeah,
clicking
that's
them.
another fun fact about Onision. He likes to make fun of people with eating disorders. There was a vlogger who had bulimia. I can't remember her name.
What
for
do
the
you
life
want to
of
make
me.
fun of people who like? Okay, if you feel gross enough to be as gross as possible and just eat too much and like, what? Why would you make fun of people with bulimia?
It was
That's
one specific
like the lowest
girl.
target you can get.
He is the king of the lowest common denominator.
I guess, yeah.
No, this is that guy. This is the alpha and omega of like lowest common denominator.
Like he made fun of fat girls. He made fun of bulimic girls. He made fun of like any kind. If you were a woman, he would find something to hate about you and make you hate it too.
And like, let's say you were bulimic. What like, most bulimic people are just really good at hiding it from everyone. So I don't know what, like, he doesn't even know how many people he's messing with when he makes that call out. Like, oh, all these successful.
And then when she recovered, he took credit for it by saying, "Oh, she finally listened to me. She's finally getting better." He took credit for her recovery. It was disgusting.
Well, maintaining healthy eating habits, I think, is a struggle for a lot of people. I mean, particularly those with eating disorders. It's like, so he took a shot at the, like, alcoholics, you weak assholes. You've been to a meeting today? Like, that's the same kind of, like, okay, I guess. Was his material funny? Did he have at least something funny to say about bulimic people, or was it just
it was just isn't it funny that she makes herself vomit in order to feel beautiful? Isn't it funny that this woman is starving herself? Isn't it so hilarious?
Well, see, that's the thing. There is something funny, and I'm not trying to over-engage on a live stream or anything, but yeah, like, I don't know. When I make myself vomit, I think it's really funny, the reasons I'm doing that. I'm like, well, that's funny. You made yourself as disgusting as humanly possible so you could feel slightly more pretty. But I know the way. But then again, I'm someone whose self-esteem has come from how good his hair looks at times. So
no, I have an eating disorder.
What would I know about that? Yeah. What would I know about? Yeah, not that I. Usually, I'm just in food crisis mode, so I don't. I'm just afraid to eat anything. Food is terrifying. Like, I'm just like, oh, Mr. Lucky got a YouTube following and never had an eating disorder. What an angle to take. Yeah.
The way that he tried to make eating disorders funny isn't the way someone who's actually endured it would go about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if someone who was funny, who was experienced an eating disorder, like, wanted to open up and talk about that, I think finding a funny way to do that would be pretty damn brave of them. This guy just ripping on people because he found out the shit they were ashamed of is just classic manipulation.
No, yeah, he was a huge dick to a lot of people who have been struggling with mental health issues or psychosis or sometimes just life-threatening disorders like epilepsy. He did not care about anyone's boundaries.
That shit with the epilepsy is just like, I'm like hey, remember that scene from Reservoir Dogs?
I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
Stuck in the middle with you. Like, he can, like, that's the kind of shit that'll get you tied to a fucking chair in my imagination. That recording that person having a seizure, it's disgusting. Yeah. Was this the seizure? Was this seizure girl? Was this her?
I don't know if it was Billy.
Oh.
I think it might have been Sarah.
Oh no!
It was
poor
either Sarah or Shiloh. One of those two was the one who had the seizure.
Oh. These people, I'm not now. I know now. I don't. Now that they have names,
you know what?
No, Patch, very good work there. Now that I know what their names are, I feel really like shitty for calling her Seizure Girl just then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand why that would make you feel bad.
I'm like, whoa, shit! I just called her Seizure Girl. That was fucked up. I didn't yeah.
I am going to take a minute here. The right opinion. I hope you find this video because I need to say something to you. It is not pronounced Shiloh. It is pronounced Shiloh. You heard Onision say her name the right way so many times in the clips you used. And you still said it wrong. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to piss in your coffee.
This is the patchwork we're looking for. Damn, this is good pod.
I'm going to find you, and I will piss in your coffee and shit in your Cheerios.
Whoa.
Whoa. You don't know Patchwork Heart. You don't understand is that he doesn't speak American.
It's a German name. It's not even an English name.
Well, he sounds unbelievably... Oh, you mean he's got a Crown Tea English accent. Got it. He's got the, fucking university English accent.
Yeah, he pronounces it incorrectly so many times. And Shiloh is my name, too. So I got personally offended.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's the name I go by IRL, is Shiloh Connor. So when I hear someone say Shiloh 37 times in the span of 15 minutes...
Shiloh.
Jesus.
Shiloh Ren. Yeah.
You know, there's an idea for a video, Patch, if you ever feel unbelievably petty, is isolate all of those and show your OC getting progressively more pissed, like, each time.
I'm actually going to do that. That's my plan for the video at the end in November. Let's get back to the Onision drama, though.
Play the clip.
Just, like, they look interesting. So... I guess just like those types of videos too.
And Kai, Onision, Greg Jackson's wife, was in on this scene too, correct?
Sorry?
Kai, who is Greg Jackson, Onision's wife, was in on this scene too. You got to know her. How did that happen?
Oh, yes. I got to know Kai in 2015. Whenever they first messaged
I'm gonna
me.
respect
There is a lot of misgendering of Kai.
Yeah.
In
Hold on,
here.
no, hold on. I want to just which I think would. Can you hit the pause clip real second? Hansen simultaneously, which I thought was amazing, respected the pronoun, but then just pulled the dead name out like it wasn't nothing.
No, Kai is his current name. Kai...
No, he was he identified this person by their legal name, but then right after that,
just misgendered.
Used the pronoun. It was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So they used the new name and then
misgender because Kai goes with he/him pronouns.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is real sloppy for Chris. And
well, no. You know what? I thought for a second they were doing a better. I'm like, well, time to watch people who do a better job at this than us. And then no, he's still making some mistakes.
It's live, man. What do you want?
Yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah, this is.
I kind of wish Billy had corrected him though.
No, there was no time. That's Chris.
You're just glad that you're talking to somebody that high up the stream at that point.
Exactly. You don't have time to muddy the waters with anything because finally someone who can do something is listening.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I can.
And I don't want to say that in this context they don't have time to bring that up and unpack gender politics with their stream. We do. We can do that. We have time for that. So yeah. So that's more our job than theirs, I guess, at this point.
I guess. All right. We are 4 minutes in and have been streaming for
good pod.
44 minutes.
Good pod.
Good pod. I'm gonna get
That's why I started drinking.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
a lot
what
of
do you
watch
mean?
hours
Yeah.
out of this.
Wait, you don't got it. You
He
don't got
reached out to you because you were
Were you trying to say something?
No, we're good. Roll the
a
clip.
fan, basically, right?
See, I wasn't like very public about anything like that. Like I never like mentioned them or anything. I think she kind of just, or I think like, sorry, I think that he kind of just found me on Twitter or maybe Instagram and just decided to like message me.
Good on her for correcting herself.
So I don't think there's any relation.
Let me just clarify here for everybody watching. I think most people are up to speed here, but Kai, when you first met Kai, identified as a woman, now identifies as a man, correct? So that's where the pronoun confusion sometimes comes in the storytelling.
All right,
of this.
cool. They corrected themselves. Okay.
Kai reached out to you. Is that correct?
You think someone didn't slip him a note right now? Like you've got a pronoun, like
someone DM'd him that's just like, dude, you're misgen, dude.
Got a message just and he's like, like you need to correct yourself on that. And he's like, well, and that's the thing is, as long he did the number one rule of live stream of podcast of doing good pod was, look, I'm just gonna acknowledge what I did and backpedal real quick, and like, oh, I might misgender someone. Oops. Good thing this is a podcast or whatever. Wow.
And what did Kai say?
The first message was just asking if I was interested in girls. And I said yes. So it kind of
interested in girls in what way?
Like interested in dating girls.
Dating girls.
Mm-hmm.
And what made her reach out to you? Was there any other connection there besides you being a fan and a viewer of this content?
I don't think so. I think maybe he might have just stumbled upon my Twitter, saw like a picture of me or something, and decided to like message me. I think that's like the only thing.
And
I didn't do YouTube or anything back then either.
Right, and you responded to Kai?
Bisexual rage.
And what was the conversation like from there?
Like after the whole kind of talking about if I was interested in girls, it kind of just started into like a potential relationship type thing, where it was like, my husband, or I have a husband, he wouldn't be involved in our relationship, if we have one, and kind of just talk about that and flirting for the most part.
And
there was a video that Onision did teasing this whole instance where it was called "My Wife Leaves Me," and it was supposed to be a joke about how Kai was cheating on him with Billy, but it was consensual. Like it's supposed to be polyamory, but it was more grooming.
Obviously, what this is someone trying to use the bisexual rage and the premise of a bi-poly relationship as manipulating one person into grooming another for them.
Yeah, that's something that's happened with Kai several times. Is he's constantly being used to help groom these young girls into the relationship.
Oh my God, the bisexual rage takes over immediately, and I can't like, I can't believe that. Well, I guess when it looks a certain way to the person that they're targeting, there's just a lot of warning signs here for if that were, but I don't know. I guess I don't get my head around the whole like online being in a relationship online thing. It's never, it seems like there's always something that isn't as it seems when that's going on. And I don't know, but I guess young people are not inherently suspicious of that.
It's not always bad. My relationship with Jessamine started off as an online long-distance relationship.
I've seen it work out. No, and this is coming from someone who has personally seen it work out for people on countless occasions. So my skepticism is probably just like, well, I can't do it. I've been hurt too many times.
That's fair.
Yeah, real, wow, and then I met them and trusted them all immediately. We knew it was love. No, don't do that. Oh, no, they can do whatever they want to you now. I I'd be if I were one of these person's online friends, I'd be like waving my arms, going like, no, don't get involved with these people. They're fucking with you. It just like it's sad that it's not that that I guess it's just harder to be a tough target in this environment.
And how old were you at this point?
I was 18.
You were 18. And were you okay with this? Was this something you were curious about? Was it something that Kai first introduced to you, or explain that part of it to me?
It was definitely like new to me. I like knew what like a three-way relationship was, but I'd never like been in one or really anything like that. Like before. The three-way relationship wasn't introduced until like we had met for the second time. It was just originally supposed to be me and Kai.
And how old were you when Kai first reached out to you?
Oh, I was 18.
You were 18. Okay, so
I do want to cover that Billy is not one of the ones who were a victim of child predatory sexual abuse and emotional abuse. Billy was a victim of domestic violence, which is one of the different things that are being brought against Onision. Emotional abuse, domestic violence, I think blackmailing. I'm not quite sure, but I think there might be blackmail in there. But we'll learn more about that as time goes on. I just did want to stop and point out that Billy is not one of the pedophilia victims, just one of the abuse victims.
Right.
Alright.
I mean, I have like my birthday public on everything, so it says like 97 on there. So I think maybe she just kind of like already, or he just kind of already knew that I was 18. I'm not sure about prior, if they knew who I was before then. I'd only spoke to them when I was 18, though.
Did Kai ask you to send pictures?
No.
How did it finally get to the point where you went to Washington State to visit Kai and Onision?
We were talking for about like 2 weeks, and Kai had offered to like fly me up to like hang out and, you know, kind of see if like things would work out and just kind of get to know each other better. So yeah, like just 2 weeks.
Oh,
like,
pulling out the dead names.
Like, was flying up there.
What made you decide to go?
Oof.
I mean, I was definitely like
hardball.
interested.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Like I thought that I thought that Kai was really cool, and it was
Kai also goes by lady, just to clarify for everybody what tonight, right?
Yeah, you know, get to know each other a little more before going back to the house, and me like meeting everybody. So it was like really nice. Like it was just like, you know, chit chat, getting to meet each other, kind of nervous type thing.
Were you worried at all that you were leaving the comfort of your home and the family you were living with and heading out to Washington State across the country?
I'm like in an entirely different area. It was definitely like a very nervous thing because I had never flown before. It was my first time ever flying. Like that was like also my other fear, because I was like, I've never been on a plane. I don't know what it's like. So yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, but I told my family I was flying up, so they knew where I was, and I gave my mom the address and everything.
What did you tell your mom about where you were going and why?
I essentially just told her I was going to meet like a friend that I met on the internet, and she was kind of like fine with that, only because I had traveled like the East Coast before, like going on tours and stuff. So she was used to me going to different states.
Going to
Clearly not that far, but
okay.
Yeah, she was fine with it.
Was she married to Onision?
I don't know if Billy herself was one of Onision's wives, but she was engaged in a polycule with Onision and Kai.
So Kai was the wife at the time. Yeah, we established that.
Yeah. I don't remember whether or not Billy and Onision got married after the breakup, after one of the many breakups with Kai.
Is Kai involved with Onision now?
Yes, they are back together as of recent.
Okay.
Or at least they were the last time I checked. It's been a couple days.
Did you have any idea what you were getting yourself into?
No, not at all.
Were you prepared for that?
No,
Was it what you were promised or what you bargained for?
no.
You get to the house. Describe what you saw.
It was like, I don't know, kind of like pretty cleaned up. Like I'm sure you know the first impressions. They wanted to keep everything,
It was a
but
house place.
the dogs were in like a baby gate. I don't know why. They were just kind of like in a corner. It was kind of weird. Um, I mean, it was kind of just like awkward generally being in somebody's house for the first time, but I don't think it was like overall too bad.
When did you first meet Greg Onision?
Like a few minutes after getting to the house.
And what was that interaction like? What did he say to you? What did you say to him?
It was really awkward. I came in and I still had my shoes on, and the first thing he said to me was, "Take your shoes off." And I didn't hear what he said. I was like, "Sorry, what?" And he was like, "Your shoes." I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I already felt really awkward.
Onision foot fetish confirmed? Question mark.
No, I don't know.
Nah, okay, so hold it. There's
I'm just teasing.
It's Washington. There's snow.
No, I know, but like, not even high. Just take off your shoes. I'm just.
Yeah, that's fine.
The feet pics.
No, I'm not going there. But
maybe he's
you know,
a stuffy old guy who just doesn't, you know.
I don't like they just got the starpits screen screamed and they don't want to.
No, I just wanted to make.
Do you know how
everyone's
many
booty.
pay pigs had to pay for this cleaning of the floor?
Yeah. The florbs in this house came from a plaza somewhere. Can't bring boot feet in here.
I can't believe
What?
that you
Like,
actually
I'd
know
be
what
asking
K-pigs
for
are,
your sweaty
Anthony.
boot
I
feet
hate you.
if
I hate you so much.
no, like, it gets worse. You think I want your sweaty boot feet in my house? Listen, these are the most delicate floors in the universe. He's not a foot fetish, he's got a floor fetish.
Oh God, that's worse.
Really nervous.
These floors are
And-
so clean you could eat
I mean,
off
I was
them.
just nervous because
And
I
you
didn't
will
really know
be.
them that well
You
either.
will be
So it was
soon
definitely
enough.
very.
Slade.
Oh my God.
With
He's the
Kai
worst.
and Onision.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. You remember that made-for-TV movie when Homer got accused of sexual harassment?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, over the top. Like, you'll be eating off these floors soon enough.
You're both terrible.
There,
Started with the foot
basically
fetish.
to be with
Super
Kai and maybe
exaggerated.
not. This starts off how? Do you have a relationship with Kai? Does that happen right away? Is there some sort of, grooming or conversation? Or take me through this.
So it was like the first day. Greg was already trying to get me and Kai to like kiss, even though like we didn't know each other that much yet, and we both. I mean, it was Kai's first time like kissing a girl, so like he was really nervous, and I mean, I was just nervous because I didn't really know them that well either. So it was definitely very pressured into like us kissing.
And what year was this?
2015.
2015. So 2015, you're 18. You've flown for the first time across the country, and now you're in a house in Washington State with Kai and Onision.
Yeah.
And Onision, Greg, is suggesting that you have a physical relationship with Kai.
Mhm.
And he's watching this?
Yeah. Like our first kiss, he was like trying to be like right there. So it was kind of weird too.
Did that creep you out at all?
Yeah, like literally, I'm almost positive like our second kiss he took a photo of and posted it on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you think, looking back, that they flew you out there
What
just
is
to
this
exploit you?
Instagram?
They're
This is something.
No,
that's
I'm
been-
being a smartass. I'm making fun of Chris Hansen.
Shoes off. Now kiss. Floors.
Jesus.
Onision has a habit of hypersexualizing other people's intimacy. That's a pattern that's been noticed throughout a lot of these polycule
Whoa.
relationships. He gets off on forcing the people that he is in polyamorous relationships with to be intimate with each other.
Right. He's clearly like projecting his lack of intimacy. Didn't I make a comment about this stemming from intimacy problems earlier?
Yeah, and you are very much right.
Wow, I don't know how I perceived that from as little as what like no, because it's because hair alone, because I have to judge this guy by hair alone.
And no man wears an emo haircut like that doesn't have some emotional problems.
You know what? We don't need, maybe we don't need to overgeneralize like that, but I guess, I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say what kind of haircut anyone, you know.
just called out Bernie Inspector.
He doesn't have a haircut that looks like Onision's. He has a haircut that looks like mine.
No, but it's still an emo, but I'm still a man with an emo haircut. You just like...
I never would have said that till you pointed it out.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I don't think of undercuts
he's clearly got emotional issues. Like,
No, Brony, I don't think undercuts are emo. I think undercuts are punk.
Yeah, I can see Brony Inspector. You're green.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, what's more?
Yeah,
green
that is actually, and you know what? I'll take that. Yeah, it's because I'm punk rock. I just don't spike my mohawk.
We're gonna move the goalpost for you, Brony, because you're one of ours.
Yeah, I'm punk rock.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I could see freaking Brony Inspector rocking. I want to be sedated.
Oh, I was. You know what was crazy? Last show I was at a punk show, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll mosh for old times. Oh,
you moshed? Oh my! Are you alive? Is this the ghost?
Like, no, I was injured very badly for several days. Like, oh god, they're all 20. This is not good.
I'm in my 30s. I've got a sore back.
No, I was already like, all right, maybe I'll head out to the show tonight. Like, it was already tired when I got there.
I'm just imagining you being like, if I die, keep FNGR out of my chips.
Like hell you will.
Like, like, if you see Anthony eating the chips, tell him to stop eating all the chips.
Oh, we should be taking this a lot more seriously than we are.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's what Chris Hansen's here for. We're here to do a running commentary on what a terrible person this guy was, and laugh look, being awful.
She's acting pretty like subdued and relaxed right now, so it's putting us at ease. Like if she were like freaking out right now, we wouldn't be like busting jokes. Shit, man.
Yeah,
right.
It seems like she's had time to process through the trauma
and
herself.
also it's like, well, my mom had let me go on fucking tours on the East Coast, you know, for a long time, so it wasn't that big a deal. That actually tells me a lot about, like, well, so you'd been around the block a few times before this happens. You were going on rave tours through your teens. Like,
if I were going to ask like inappropriate questions, I'd be like, so would you say that Onision is your most abusive person you've ever been around? Oh, he doesn't even break top 5, honey.
Oh, you should have seen that ecstasy dealer I was running with back in 2004. Oh my God. He was like, that's the vibe I'm getting from this person. Like, it's just like, you know, he was a legit drug dealer, so he would just kill you if you said shit. But this guy's just a YouTube celebrity. Fuck him. Like,
don't know.
Yeah, she just seemed like she just doesn't give a shit anymore, and she's tired of being afraid of him.
Yeah, she's tired of being fucking pushed around by assholes. It seems like.
Yeah, big prop. Billy, if you ever see this, big props.
Billy,
I'm
sure
you're cool.
I know. No, you know what, Billy? I know what it's like for your self-esteem to stem from how good your hair looks today. I know exactly how you feel. Fuck that.
I'm just imagining Billy looking over at Bernie Inspector. How good your hair looks. Don't you put yourself in my league.
No, oh hell no. Yeah, you're nowhere near. I'm like, oh shit, yeah,
I could see Billy doing.
No, I'll take that. No, it'd be like, okay, wow, I feel like shit. And it would work. I'd feel like shit immediately.
100 strokes.
Yeah, dude, no, that would be like, oh, and Billy just got, 4 critical hits on Brony Inspector. He thought he was being funny because this gal got on a podcast that thought it was being professional.
Okay, let's continue.
Yes, let's roll the clip.
All right, back to the clip.
Profit from it.
For sure.
How did the relationship progress with Kai after that?
We, spent like that week together, and it seemed like pretty okay. Like other than like the whole pressure to like kiss and everything. Like we had like a good time. We just went out to eat and got to know each other like a little more.
My view count just dropped by
Yeah,
10.
it was like
Wow, I'm
pretty
sorry.
okay
No, it's
for,
alright.
like the first
Yeah.
trip.
It'll come
Didn't you
back.
think that it was weird that you're out there to hang out, potentially have a romantic relationship with a then woman who's married to a guy, they have a child, and they live all together with you in a house?
Yeah, it was definitely like an interesting like thing. I don't know, it definitely like sounds weird, but I don't know. Like I was just interested in like going and being with Kai,
Might I make
and
a
then
suggestion?
it like I don't know.
What's that?
Oh, pause for a second. Like, I feel like we're in like. Oh yeah, pause for a minute.
I already did.
You gotta go to your tab. It'll
Oh yeah,
pause
there it's
automatically.
good.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it and I'm like, maybe we should skim ahead a little bit here because like I know we're riffing on it and maybe we were riffing on it because it wasn't the most interesting part, perhaps. I don't know, maybe we should just jump ahead of Skosh. And
Yeah,
if we
sure.
yeah, instead of being dicks, we could just jump ahead a bit,
Life things.
I skipped ahead about 10 minutes.
Yeah. What before we start hearing about Onision's shopping habits and we all make fun of like what kind of cabinets
Right.
he
No,
buys,
like I'm like,
which
and
we're
then
gonna
they
do,
went to
which
Shake
we totally
Shack.
would do, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then Shake Shack, huh? Like, yeah. Like, that's great. You went to Panera, okay?
I've been wanting to go back to Panera for like a year now.
Dude, they got
Probably-
they got those salads there.
They got really good mac and cheese bowls.
Oh my
but
god,
I'm so
those,
fucking
those
poor.
breads, those sandwiches.
I used to have to go
Dude,
to Panera
those
Bread for
croutons
work.
with that Caesar salad. That thing is bomb.
If you ever get
Second
into an
is-
internship
no,
program where you're
second-
forced to meet at Panera Bread, it's probably not legit.
Second Billy was like, we went to Panera. I'm like, oh damn, sounds like a good first date.
So where are we at now?
We're at
We're at the
24:11.
we're gonna get to the point where the wife is exposed for having manipulated this person into the relationship. Do we have any point where that happens, or do we just find out where they ate next?
I'm going in blind, but I was told that they do talk about the abuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 2016.
We found out that Onision is more of a dog than a cat person. What an asshole!
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, come on. Just let the clip play.
Speaking of which, some furry sent me like this picture of like, there's this person who has a comfort fox at a con, and all I could think of is, damn, that thing's adorable. I'm not what am I supposed to say here?
Yeah. Wait, what did they had a fox, like an actual fox.
Like a fox is a comfort animal, and they're like, this person does this, this, and this, and all I'm doing is they showed me a picture of the fox being all cute and shaky, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do here?
I don't know. What is that? I mean, are they allowed to this is like that scene in Big Lebowski, like, what am I, a park ranger? Like, what am I supposed to do here?
Here, take a look at this damn thing.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the fox and
Yeah.
What are furries up to right now?
Oh, it's a baby.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh, it's my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I'm going to steal that
I'm gonna
fox.
fucking die.
I'm gonna steal
I don't want.
it. That's
Oh
mine
my god,
now.
I love it.
Oh god, it's a baby.
I love it.
It's a baby.
I love it.
No.
Yeah, that's something
my
about I was told something terrible about the owner, and I'm like, all I could do is stare at the fox.
Like, love it.
I'm not gonna tell people they can't have that at a con, like even if that's not okay. It just, I mean, the music's kind of freaking it out, but
I mean, it doesn't look like it. That does not appear to be any form of animal abuse that I'm aware of. I'm not sure if having it is legal, but
Yeah.
Oh no, domesticated fox are illegal in the U.S.
Are legal?
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have that.
All you have to do is get a special game license, and you're allowed to have a pet fox.
Fuck yes. Fuck.
We should probably get back to the whole.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I want to say like around like October, November ish. There was like this. We've had like a lot of breakups, so this was like one of the bigger ones where there. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to like word it properly.
Right.
Where Kai. So it's a really like long story.
But there was was it a disagreement between you and Kai and Greg? All three of you? Did they want you to do something you were uncomfortable with? Were you just done with the whole scene?
Yeah, it was essentially just a miscommunication or a lack of communication between them, and it put me in the middle of it all. Essentially, Greg told Kai that he was going to do like whatever he wanted in this three-way relationship, and if that's like to want to have sex with me outside of us being together, then like he was going to do that. And Kai agreed to it, I guess, to him. But then later on told me that like he wasn't, like Kai wasn't okay with that, and that's not something that they like want to have happen. So like later I went downstairs to like talk to Greg, and it was like almost kind of immediate. Like he was already trying to like get me over to the bed to like have sex with me.
Right.
And I tried to bring up like the whole, I don't think Kai would, really be okay with this. And he was like, oh, why? Like we talked about it. And I was like, I just don't think, it would be okay. And he was like, oh yeah, no, it'll be fine. Like we had a conversation. So we did end up like, being intimate. And right after I ran upstairs to tell my best friend, because she was visiting with us too.
Right.
And I like cried to her about the whole situation. And I guess right after Greg went up to Kai too to tell Kai about everything that happened. And it became like this whole big mess of like all of us kind of like separating and going into different rooms, and Greg like walking around trying to like talk to all of us and figure out what is kind of going on. He ended up like making us sign a contract to stay like a week longer to try to figure everything out.
Wait. He made you sign it. So he coaxes you into having sex with him outside of the agreed upon relationship. You feel horrible about it. It all turns out to be a big mess. You tell your friend who's visiting about it. You're in tears. And he's running around trying to get you guys to sign a contract?
Yeah, he tried.
Why does he try to get you to sign a contract?
To stay longer, to try to figure out if we could like work things out all together.
That is not legally enforceable. It is not. You can figure out like negotiations. That's not legally enforceable. It sounds like he's using contracts as a means of emotionally manipulating people he's in relationships with. He's trying to use the law to abuse these women.
What's his bullshit story? I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
I would love to hear his explanation as to how, like, coercing someone into sex and then forcing them to sign a contract stating they'll stay with you so that you can have more coerced sex.
He's done a video about this before, right? He's responded to these.
Is he in Nevada where you can have a contract around sex?
I don't think so. No, I think he's a California resident.
Well, probably not.
You sound like you're doing a whippet right now, Anthony. What happened to your...
I ate a cookie, goddammit.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, if someone's doing whippets, they better share.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not a surprise to me at all.
Okay.
Gregory seems to be a fan of using litigation to control his relationships.
I mean, he tried... he said he was going to try and sue Chris Hansen if he didn't leave him the fuck alone. I was like, good luck.
Good luck, buddy.
Correct.
Mm-mm.
Who does this guy think he is? Running around this house, running it like a harem.
I'm sure he has a folder. Like I have signed countless contracts. Like this isn't even the first one. Like there have been so many where it's
How
just
many
like,
contracts did Greg Onision have you sign?
I want to say possibly 4 or 5.
4 or 5. And did these have any legal standing whatsoever? I know you're not a lawyer, but I mean,
I didn't know at the time.
What's the purpose of this?
Yeah, but now I realize they have to be notarized to be real, and it's just something he would type up on the computer and put like a little sign here thing on and like call it legal.
And what were these contracts for? To stay?
Yeah, they would be like, oh, like you'll do this in order to stay, or in order for us to forgive you.
Forgive you?
Yeah.
Why would you have to be forgiven after all this? They should be apologizing to you, am I not correct?
Even like to this day, like it's just like I mean, I haven't spoken to them in forever, but I still get emails, and it like differs from like, oh, I'm sorry, to like, this is all your fault, to like,
all your fault.
Yeah, like whenever that whole situation happened, it flipped on me somehow. And Kai blamed me entirely for the whole thing that happened, and then Greg blamed me for the whole thing that happened. So it like the whole thing just became my fault.
That is textbook gaslighting. Greg coerced her into sex and then blamed her for sex he wanted. That's a common form of gaslighting used to make people question their perception of reality, and it makes you more susceptible to emotional manipulation and to suggestion. Abusing someone and then
clearly, like,
convincing them it's their fault.
That's let's keep the clip. Let's roll the clip here. Keep this thing going. I got nothing to add to that.
So when you and Sarah were both there, was this a situation where you and Sarah were doing work around the house, babysitting, grocery shopping, cleaning, as domestic help, or as girlfriends in this relationship?
I honestly, like, to be fair, Greg doesn't do like anything around the house, so I don't know if it's just one of those things where like Kai definitely felt entitled to us helping, for sure. Like if we didn't help, then there'd be like some fit or some like ignoring bland text messages that we'd get. Sorry, could I get the question again?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is, did they treat you like you were, indentured servants, or was this like in tonight?
Oh shit! No. It just went back. Fuck.
No, that whole like some of the ways and the phrasings you said there. Could I get the question again? I feel like there's a little bit of leading here.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah, here's it's to be fair, enough times passed. Memory could be foggy. I don't know. there's a little bit of like, I kind of wonder sometimes. She seemed kind of like flippant at times, where she didn't seem as interested or what have you, or is it just like, I don't know. It seemed a little foggy.
That right there seemed a little off to me.
Yeah.
Well, he's and this could be one of those things where, I'm trying to figure out where he's going with. Well, I see exactly where he's going with that. It didn't seem to occur to her till that very moment. And it's like, holy shit, did I have to do chores? I never even thought about that. That asshole. I guess I had to do chores. Like, that's what I feel like just happened there. Like, she's like, wait, hold on. He never did shit. And then I would always do shit, but then days where I didn't do shit, he would send me passive-aggressive text messages. That fucker had me doing all the chores. Like,
well, I'll be honest with you. If you're in a relationship where you bullshit that, I'm not going to call that fucking abuse. You certainly got a shitty deal. There's certainly an asshole.
Deal, but like, I've
especially if it didn't dawn on into you after the fact. Wow, that sucked.
holy shit, that fucker had me doing all the chores. He had money to hire a bitch to do that, and he had me doing it. Fuck him. Like,
I mean, if you ask me, she has every right to feel that way.
no, I get it. But
I'm not,
what my
I'm
point
not calling
is,
that abuse.
I'm not
my
gonna call
point
that
is-
abuse
my-
either,
my
but what it
point
is shitty.
she didn't call it abuse until this very moment where Chris Hansen pointed it out to her that was happening.
Trouble, I swear to God,
Like,
if you don't
she's
stop
like,
screaming at
right
me.
now the gears are turning. She's like, holy shit. Well, you know what?
Like,
I just got done, doing my eyes for 2 hours before I went on Chris Hansen. So I'm just done thinking about that. Holy shit, he did have me doing the chores. Fuck him. Like,
okay,
it appears to be occurring to her right now.
Yeah,
Like,
remember from like the last stream we were talking about fucking who was it, Simba or whatever, and we were
Mhm.
making the joke about the circle of Karens. I'm just like imagining if there were a bunch of girls right here. Wait a minute, huddle. Yeah, we're gonna call that abuse now. Like,
well, and let's say it's abuse if you can hire someone else to do it.
Or if you're emotionally manipulating someone into doing it for you. Like, I'm just saying, if you're pulling that, if you really loved me, you would wait on me hand and foot.
No,
That's
no,
not
it's
okay.
not hand and foot. Is your house clean or messy right now?
Well, most of it's pretty clean. It's just my bedroom
Okay.
that's kind of
Your
dicked
bedroom's a mess, and you don't want anyone touching your shit.
hold up about the emotionally manipulative thing. Like, you're making it sound like all emotional manipulation. Everybody in every relationship pulls the "aw, please, I love you." Yeah, no, everybody's done that. Don't.
That's not what I'm. That's not what I mean. Like,
But that
It's
is
a shitty
emotional
deal. Like,
manipulation.
I'll still
I'm
agree
talking about
that it-
abusive emotional manipulation, where you
No.
leverage someone's feelings for you against them in order to get them to do something that is
Get
either
them to do
I-
not
I
in their best
chores.
interest.
I could give you an example right now. I don't want to go with you to go talk to your parents. You would if you loved me. Now, one, you don't want to go. Two, that's going to be abusive, and you don't want to be there.
and
Nope.
Yeah,
and it's like-
no, that is emotional
that-
abuse in my opinion.
No, that's standard relationship bullshit.
That's give and take.
That's not
essentially,
bullshit
like-
to me. Like, if someone doesn't want to go with
Like,
you to
don't get me
something-
wrong. I would respect the shit out of you. Like, get fucked. I'm not doing it. Like, but at the same time, yeah,
Like,
regular.
You can't,
okay, maybe
you
that's
can't
just what
make me
heteros
get in
do.
the car, can you?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where no, I would disagree and say, like, emotionally manipulating someone into, like, listen, it's my parents and it would mean a lot to me, and I know all they're gonna do is yell at you and it's gonna make you feel terrible. Like,
Yeah, you have to nut up and say no.
Yeah,
You absolutely have to be the
that's
person
a
who,
little
like,
bit different than just like, fuck, I don't like fucking doing the dishes and I intend to never do them. And oh, here's this person who loves me. I will have it so they always do them. Like, that is pretty. That's about as shitty a deal as you can get.
I will equate to what Onision, like, for example, you have like a bunch of friends and you're ordering a pizza and someone manages to manage to get the pizza for free.
Oh,
yeah, the mooch. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this person shouldn't be beat up. I'm just saying this isn't as bad as some of the other things Onision's, like, guilty of, and I'd rather not equate some of the.
I mean,
okay,
Oh no,
here's
no one's
right,
saying
no,
that
you're-
this is just as bad, but
So,
it's still shitty.
No, it's one of those things where Chris Hansen is like, but the reason a normal person, what I believe he's doing is setting the stage where a normal person would have drawn the line in a shitty relationship, you just went along with it and didn't realize it and opened yourself up to a ton more worse shit without even realizing it. And that's what I feel like the lesson learned here. It's like most people, if they were like, nah, he don't do shit, and he kind of just like guilt trips me if I don't do shit, and neither of us need to do shit. Like, if it were like that, like, nah, I'm done with him. He a broke bitch. Like, he got money, but he a broke ass bitch. I don't need him. Like,
yeah, exactly.
that's what a normal person would do. So she didn't even realize, like, no, you don't got to do all the chores every day. That ain't part of the deal necessarily.
Yeah.
where most people would draw the line, she just went along with it. So that is actually sort of helping, to Chris's credit for bringing this up, setting the stage for the amount of shit she was willing to put up with without even thinking about it.
And now, here's the funny thing is how, like, this is years later after this has happened, right? And she still had no idea that, wow, I got a shit deal.
Yeah.
did Chris just ruin it for future boyfriends? We're gonna have it all padded out.
No, like, I was... like, here's the thing, like, I don't, like...
She's probably thinking about her current boyfriend.
The chat's starting to get bored and being told to get on with it.
All right, go on with it.
Like,
on with it.
Get on.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
I want to say like a bit of like it definitely felt like sometimes we were like made to, like, not made, but pushed to kind of do these things. Just because one time I remember me and Sarah went out to the mall with Kai, and Kai was getting a haircut, but like had both the kids with him, so it was like difficult. But the kids don't like to be separated from their mom, so we couldn't do anything to like help. Like we couldn't take them with us to go shopping, and we couldn't like sit there because we were supposed to be buying presents for Kai and Greg and like everybody. It's sorry, this was like around like closer to Christmas, I guess, like still October or November-ish. But
it sounds like they treated you like the help, and the help was expected to service them sexually. Is that fair?
Yeah, like I feel like the dynamic's just really weird.
Like do all the work around the house, take care of the kids, cook, clean, and oh, by the way, we're ready to have sex now, so come on upstairs and do that because this is where you're living now.
I definitely don't want to discredit Kai because they definitely like would clean up around the house and stuff too. But I just feel like whenever we were there, we were like more so like expected to help around the house, other than it being like a nice gesture to help them.
Did you ever think that they broke the law with Sarah?
Yeah.
In what way?
I mean,
Sarah was a minor who was living in the house at the same time that Billy, Kai, and Onision's relationship was happening.
I have to ask the standard question here. Why are they just now, if they thought that they were breaking the law, now choosing to come forward?
Oh no, Sarah came forward not long after the relationship ended.
I'm referring to what's this person's name?
Billy?
It was Billy. Yeah. Why is Billy accusing now of this glorious moment?
No, Billy has talked about this too.
Okay.
This has been the accusations of sexual abuse and statutory rape towards Sarah by Onision has been talked about for years now. For several years. Onision did multiple videos saying that he thought of Sarah as a daughter, he was acting as a foster parent, and then the minute she turned 18, he claims they didn't have sex until after she was an adult. I don't buy that. He makes a lot of claims that that he was...
The Woody Allen thing, yeah.
Yeah. It was very much a Woody Allen situation.
I thought about making a video on that, the OG Orbiter. In Woody's case, from what I understand from the news articles, he waited till like she was 21. But I'm like, even then, I feel like you've muddied the waters so much for such an extended amount of degree that's just it feels gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is your voice suddenly so much deeper?
Yeah, no, I said he sounds like he did a whippet. I don't know what happened.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here, tell you what, I'll leave the call and I'll come right back. Maybe that'll fix it.
If he still sounds the same, we know he's doing whippets.
Yeah, he's just.
Is it better now?
Yes, you sound regular.
Oh, okay. So
all right, sure, all right.
All right. So
till now, that's been Corpulent Brony. Hey, everyone.
I just wanted to clarify that real quick. Who Sarah was? one of the ones who Onision, quote-unquote, socialized with while she was a minor.
And just from, like, some of, like, I just think of, like, this one very specific thing where I, like, walked upstairs and, like, Kai was just completely naked in the tub, and Sarah was just, like, sitting on this, like, high chair, like, pretty close, clearly, like, underage, with someone that they had a crush on. And it just, like, seemed already normal at that point, like, it'd been happening for a minute, and it just, like, I don't know, clearly isn't okay and didn't, like, sit right with me either. So I told Greg about it, and he kind of made a big deal about it, and was like, okay, so they're not going to do that anymore. And I was like, okay, cool. But then he started being, like, kind of mean to her all the time too. So I don't know if that was just to show me that he, I don't know, didn't like her or something. But
did Greg manipulate and try to control you?
Yeah, for sure.
Did he blackmail you?
Sorry, I'm not entirely sure what blackmail is.
Did he threaten to hold something over your head if you didn't do what he wanted you to do?
No.
Threaten to tell your parents anything, put anything out on the internet, show embarrassing pictures to people who wouldn't understand what was going on if you didn't do what he asked?
He didn't ever threaten to. He just kind of did it. Like, it was never like a threat. It was just like, oh, here's this embarrassing video of information about you, or here's blackmail. This, just,
Okay.
No, that's not blackmail.
And he put that out there, those videos.
Okay, let's put it this way. Assault and battery, for example. Assault is the idea that you are going to be harmed. Like, you perceive a reasonable threat of harm. Like, someone cocks their fist back, and then if they hit you, you have assault and battery. Now, if they just sucker punch you, you have just battery here. Now you're like, that's a hell of a loophole you have there. Yes. If he doesn't threaten you and just does it, it's
no one blackmailed anyone.
Yeah.
They just decided that a pattern of humiliation was a more effective tactic to get you to do what they want.
No, you could draw from the inference and start to be clever there, and a lawyer could attempt to do. It would be understood, perhaps, but not.
If you wanted to send someone now let's say in a situation where this person has a trove of embarrassing shit against you, and the first thing they did impulsively, or seemingly so, was release something that was mildly embarrassing. Now, if you were a person who knew they had way worse videos of you than this, you would get the message. I can release any video that I have that I want of you. So that could be perceived as blackmail, depending on the victim knowing what the person who has the videos has. Assuming that the thing they released was the most embarrassing thing they had, then no. But if it were,
that would be interesting to look at the case law for
that.
Yeah,
I would like to. Yeah, I'd like to ask a real lawyer, but I've a theory of my own there, I guess.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Take it.
Oh yeah, there's like a lot of videos of, like, just my information or information about our relationship.
I want you to know here that, no one's judging here. I know you're a little anxious to talk about this, and we're really just trying to get inside this world, which has caused, allegedly, and certainly from the interviews we've done, a lot of damage to a lot of young women. And you're very brave to come forward and talk about it. None of this is your fault. You went out there for one thing, and it sounds like he just got in over your head. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
We've heard stories about him shaving girls' heads. Did he ever do that to you?
No, but he wanted to.
He wanted to. And what's the purpose of this?
I mean, he told me it was to be able to be forgiven, to, like, prove that I like, love them. And I'm not sure. I'm sure it was to, make me, like, embarrassed, or make me, like,
I think
not
it's
like
retarded
myself
internet
as much,
nonsense.
I do.
No, Onision would demand acts of penance from his partners, like shaving your head, getting a tattoo, doing certain acts of
well,
labor.
no, yeah, doesn't this fall back onto him trying to get that that other person to tattoo their forehead?
No, that was Billy.
Oh, this was the person who did weed.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was either Billy or Shiloh. Oh, Shiloh went through a lot. But every single one of his exes has been told to do an act of penance whenever he got really pissed at them. And it was either get a tattoo wherever I tell you to on your body, or get a piercing, or wear a collar, or get chained up in the basement.
You know what's
it wasn't.
Wait, so hold on, back to the chained up in the basement thing. Were there chains in the basement?
He never showed any photos. But
this a real thing?
It was a real thing that he wanted to do, that he had
planned.
that
he wanted to do, or that, like, if you went into this guy's basement, would he have a dungeon down there where he could chain people up? Was this for real?
We have never seen his basement, so
no
I
proof
would not
of
know.
that. Yeah.
Have they sworn up and down that there is a basement, though?
Yeah.
Everyone seems to keep referencing this place as if it's an actual threat. And that, like, and yet I've seen anything, like, no one's asked him, did they have was there really chains in the basement? Was it set up for that? Like, was anyone ever chained up in the basement, for as far as you know?
That's never been confirmed. It's only ever been a threat. But I'm hoping that in the FBI investigation they might show us some evidence.
That'd be nice.
And Onision strikes me as the kind of dumb idiot who wouldn't be like, oh, nothing's going to happen. I don't have to get rid of anything. I do think he's that kind of idiot.
Yeah.
I've gotten away with it for so long.
Because, like, you know, that's the thing. And, like, you know, see, and one of these things I notice about the BDSM community, they keep dragging all these spy poly people into it, thinking it's the same thing, and it's just not. It's really weird, really sad.
Let's put play.
Care a lot about my hair, and he very clearly knew that. Like, I want to be a cosmetologist, so it was just one of those, like, you know, just like a jab at you.
This is about the hair.
What's the worst thing he posted about you online?
I'm not really, like, entirely big on, like, talking about it.
Right. And if you're uncomfortable, don't go there. I don't want you to have a bad experience, but I do want people to know what he's capable of doing. You know, so as far as you're comfortable characterizing what he did, it sounds like he gained your confidence, got some deep personal information about you, and exploited it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
In a very hurtful way?
Yeah, on, like, several occasions.
Things that you told him in confidence because you trusted him and you wanted a relationship of some sort with Kai. Is that fair?
Yes.
And he exploited that and blasted that all over the internet.
Hello.
Yeah.
Queef
some of the most
queen.
personal
Hello.
information one
What's
could
going on?
No, the thing on screen.
What was it, Billy, that finally made you say, I'm out of here, I can't do this anymore, I'm done?
So it had, like, gradually kind of, like, gotten to that point, like, over probably, like, 2-3 months, whenever they, like, started, you know, being more like that. Like, I felt like there were, like, more problems, more, like, things that he would, like, that Greg would do to try to cause more drama.
Like what? Just give me an example of something.
There'd be times where he would, like, tell me that Kai was upset with me, and would, like, tell Kai that I was upset with him. So then we wouldn't talk, and we'd get into this, like, really awkward, like, thing where we're, like, avoiding each other. And, you know, then he would, like, try to talk to us separately, and sometimes it would be, like, about things that we didn't even, like, say, or things that were worded differently. He would, like, reword them to make it, like, seem worse.
He was trying to create drama, tension, and take advantage of the whole situation.
And me and Kai had caught on to it at one point because he was like, "Oh, like yeah, you or Kai is like feeling weird about this, or like you're." So I can't remember like what the exact situation was, but it got to the point where we were both in the car, and I was like, "So like, why are you like mad at me?" And she was like, or he's like, "I'm not mad at you. Like Greg told me that you were like, mad at me," and it just became this like, oh, so we're both not mad at each other, and there was literally no problem.
Are you afraid of Greg as we sit here tonight and talk?
Yeah, I've been seeing some of these like messages pop up, and I don't know like what exactly is like happening. But
what do you fear most about Greg and what he's doing?
I just feel like he's not really much like predictable. So it just like I don't know, like I just don't know what he could say, or I know I'm really far away, so it's not like he could like do anything to me other than like be really nasty on the internet.
Has he threatened you at all?
No.
And do you speak with either Kai or Greg at all now?
No.
What's the last thing you said to them?
I'm pretty sure I sent like in all caps F you and then blocked their number and like never spoke to them again.
Good on her.
But I still get emails. It's been like 3 years and I have like over 20 emails from Greg. Like
saying what? What are they trying to get you back out there?
Oh yeah, it's like
they want you back out there.
Yeah, for sure. Like they
oh, we're just kidding. This is fine now. Please come out and have a relationship with us.
Yeah, like it'll be like, oh, so I have like a list of them. It goes back and forth from like, we want to see if things work out, and then I didn't respond, so I got another one like, Kai doesn't think things will work out, so we're not going to try to pursue this. But like, I clearly was never trying to pursue them ever again. So that's why it was just weird that they were like, never mind, Kai doesn't, want to do this anymore. Because I was like, I clearly don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't. So yeah, I just have a lot of emails. I don't know, just
something in her voice sounds shaky, like she's holding something back. There's
look
something
into her eyes, and
there's
look
something
into
she's
her
not
eyes.
saying here.
Like, I'm not.
So you're not even responding to them at this point?
Oh no, like I haven't responded in like over like however long it's been.
Oh
2 to
yes,
3 years.
fuck you, lol. The last thing I said to the Jose Bank in Beverly Hills.
Drop it, if you don't want to pursue it, I promise. But it seems to me that you're a little anxious about some aspects of this, and if it's a matter of private stuff, I get it, and I'm not going to drag you through it. But are there things you're afraid to talk about because you're afraid of Greg?
No, I don't think so. I'm honestly just pretty nervous because I haven't really talked about any of this in like a good
And I appreciate you doing it, and I honestly, and I'll be quiet and let you talk here in a second, but
I probably should have picked Sarah's interview for this because Billy.
To hear you say this,
the abuse that she went through is very different.
I saw everybody else like coming up to talk, and it really helped me want to like come up and be able to talk about everything too, because they're really brave. And
wait, so she's the third wheel legend here? She's like the last one to come forward.
Was there a part of you that didn't want to come on the
suck.
show tonight? That didn't want to talk about this? That didn't want
to. Billy was the last one in the line to come forward.
No, I definitely think that it's the right thing to do.
Playing?
Okay. Yeah.
Is she's the one, but she's the only one so far who's talked to Chris Hansen?
No, there are 3 other videos. One with
Shiloh.
Man,
we should have watched those. Then we could have been more serious. Oh well.
I can switch to a different one if you'd prefer.
I mean, we've been going for like an hour here. What have you?
Been,
but you were saying she's holding things back, and I'm like that. That doesn't necessarily mean fear. I mean, maybe she knows shit that she feels liable or somewhat responsible for.
Well,
yeah. There's certainly something that's not being said here. I think a lot of us are willing to agree. Maybe she was high when she came on the stream and we're just reading it wrong.
She looks high right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
talking to an ex-cop and I'm being nervous right now because I'm high. That's possible too. Shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. there's just a lot in her language and a lot in how a lot in her expression, a lot in her language and a lot in her expressions that leaves me to wonder if, this is clearly someone who's like, yeah, there's more stuff I could say, but I'm not going to talk about it. Like, and also a lot of, I don't know. This just feels like she's thinking about things she's suddenly thinking about things in a different way. It could also be that.
Yeah. There's more I could go into, but I think that's a good place to stop.
But yeah, for anybody watching along, I'm not an Onision expert. I'm just trying to go with, finding somewhat of a balance to see whether this specific case is legit or not. In Onision's case, which I have no doubt that I've heard enough things. There's certainly, hey, look, if you're a young guy or a girl, or probably even an older, you should probably avoid Onision. That's probably a good idea. I'm gonna go in on
the
that
video I linked you guys to earlier, The Demented World of Onision by Jay Aubrey. I do recommend giving that a look if you want a more detailed dip into each individual abuse case. Jay Aubrey did a much better job than I think I did here, explaining what the people that Onision has dated have been put through. I'm going to put that in the chat here, and I'm going to put that... Oh, no, that's the wrong fucking link. God damn it. YouTube, can you cooperate with me just this once?
Chore rape. We've exposed chore rape, okay?
Who's that?
Chore rape. It's a new thing.
Okay.
A chore rapist. You rape someone with chores.
Oh. Well,
yeah. We found a new thing to be concerned with. We can just throw that into the... I'm glad we figured out what chore rape is. I was unaware of this.
Is usually labor, like forced
Look,
labor.
I think that's way off brand. That's not getting the message home to people here.
I thought he was a lead lump at the very like even if he's not some kind of statutory rapist, he doesn't seem like a good friend. He certainly seems like he's all about him, and that's just more than enough to not... we know we're conceding his hair is nice, but you can do better, people.
Yeah.
You did part of the testimony that was given during that was Billy saying she knew that Sarah was in fact sexually engaged with Kai, and it's implied by a lot of other people who have come forward that Onision also had sex with Sarah. That is the girl that I said earlier Onision and Kai have argued over who took the virginity of. That is the girl that they had that disagreement over.
So I'm kind of, and this is just a guess here. It's Billy was dating Kai, correct?
Yeah.
Billy was supposed to be dating Kai.
Okay. I got the vibe, maybe it's just me reading too much into it, that Billy seems reluctant to really come out against Kai. That might also be maybe they knew something, but they'd have to implicate Kai. Is that a...
I landed on that earlier, and I think that my theory is that Onision is going to try to throw Kai under the bus on that one.
Oh, probably. Trouble is in here again, screaming at me.
Well, I mean, from what it sounds like, Kai sounds like they're at least somewhat on the hook for this. Yeah?
Yeah, Kai may have been one of Onision's victims, but he is also guilty of perpetuating abuse himself.
No, the whole story here, where...
Let me ask
you... What Billy is saying to me, okay, and just, like, it seems like they seem to not accept the fact that, that Kai was the leg man, and what's his name? Greg was the one pulling all the strings. That under his instruction, they were the one who contacted these people that they groomed, which is what sounds more like what's happening here to me from the story. But Billy here didn't seem to want to go down that road, is what it sounds like to me. That more or less, what's the one? We got Greg, who's Onision, and what the fuck's the other one's name?
Kai.
I think Kai is more than one of Onision's victims. I believe they're helping to manipulate these people just as much as he is formulating how they're going to manipulate them. And I don't think that Billy is quite ready to accept that now. Just like, hopefully accepting that they made them do all the chores is the first road down to accepting that maybe maybe the other things were happening that they haven't accepted yet, which is what it sounds like to me. And given their just like kind of reluctance to get into what sounds like, I don't know, what sounds like a way more calculated thing going on there than Billy was ever led into.
Back before Onision,
Greg, let's just call him Greg.
Yeah, back before Kai came out to Greg as trans, back when he still went by his dead name, which was Laney, that's public knowledge. They would have a lot of very open spats on Twitter. This is just one screenshot where he was very possessive and he would get very jealous whenever Kai was excited about another man talking to him, like at all. Like, oh, this other person's acknowledging your existence and you're happy about it? Well, how about I make you feel terrible for that?
Oh.
That was a common pattern of, like, being possessive and obsessive over controlling who Kai talks to and basically how they feel.
I'm not seeing whether this person manipulated the other into the relationship initially or not. What I'm saying is, once they got on an even keel with each other, it seems like they were both manipulating people into their little thing they were doing there.
Yeah.
Sounds like they were both fully aware of what they were doing. I get that, you know, yes, your former victim became your accomplice. I mean, yeah, I get that initially makes them a victim. I'm not, you know, I'll acknowledge that, but I still think they should be responsible for what they were, for the parts of this that they were responsible for. Like,
oh, no, absolutely.
To say that, well, they were initially this person's victim doesn't mean that unless this person's seriously that good at brainwashing people, I think this person should be responsible for what their part in this stuff was.
Oh, no, absolutely.
I don't think anyone's acknowledging that. Right now.
Kai is still responsible for what he's done to Sarah, to Billy, to a lot of women.
So this is a tough question, Patch, and I'm not sure you'll have the answer. How long, like in Kai's case, when did they start dating Onision?
I do not know.
Well, let's say that you begin a relationship with somebody like Onision
before 2016. Before
well,
2016.
I meant, like, how old were they?
I think when Kai and Onision met, Kai was 17.
Okay. How long do you give... I always feel weird using the term victim here because it sounds like I'm taking all the power away from one individual. But how long do you, like, give them, like, a leeway? Like, okay, you... due to circumstances, we're not holding you entirely on the hook here. What's the shelf life on that?
To me,
yeah,
victimhood doesn't have an expiration date, but it also doesn't excuse perpetuating the cycle of abuse.
I mean, and I would say that a lot of abusers were victims of abuse. Yeah,
at younger ages, I'm a bit more understanding. I kind of handle it on a case-by-case basis or some shit like that, but
Kai is in their late 20s right now, so
Yeah.
I would say, like, he is well into being responsible for his own choices.
Given
Yeah.
Given that you'll notice that Chris Hansen has sat down with Sarah and Shiloh and Billy, and Kai's not in there, are they?
No, Kai is still dating Onision and is defending him.
Because Kai is one of the targets right now. It would appear to be to me.
They're also cooperating, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, Kai is still very much responsible for his actions, and he is still helping Onision and trying to help him fight these allegations.
As soon as some federal agents show up, it's going to be a race for one to throw the other under the bus. Just mark my words on that.
I'd hope in that case that the federal agents would ask Kai first, but
yeah, I would assume they're gonna. I would exactly, and that's why they're gonna. Ding, ding, ding. Good, Anthony. Your lead on this investigation.
I'm going to keep an eye on this.
Wow, you just cracked the case, dude. Okay, we got this. Yeah, that's exactly.
Unless, of course, like the federal agents are like, the sooner we could put a bow on this retarded YouTube bullshit, the sooner we could get back to real. Onision, do you want the deal? Like, that could happen.
No doubt.
We heard you were such a scumbag. We figured if we'd ask you, we wouldn't have to ask the other person.
Listen, Chris Hansen, he's
he owes one of our guys. We owe him
one
a
of
favor.
our guys. Yeah, like, and they are like, they'll be golfing this weekend, kind of shit. Yeah. So
apparently, when Sarah was 16, Greg had a habit of bullying Sarah for being a virgin, to the point that she would cry.
Virgin shaming? Whoa. That's
How old is Greg right now?
He's in his mid-30s.
Okay.
How old is he in hair years?
No.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck this guy. This fucking piece of shit.
Did you kill the stream yet?
Nope, still going.
No, we're going. Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck
probably tap out at this point.
Alright, I'll cover this more in depth in a separate video, but I wanted to do a podcast covering all this. Thank you to Brony Inspector and FNGR for joining me today, and I will see all of you on Friday's video. Bye.